Rocketry is releasing on the 1st of July 2022 after a long wait. It's been 2 years since the film has been complete and censored. And thanks to the pandemic, we've been pregnant with 7 films and waiting for the release. Um, Rocketry has been a life-changing experience for me because it started off as a curiosity factor about a guy who has been wrongfully convicted, who was also a rocket scientist who allegedly had an affair with a Maldivian woman and compromised ISRO's secrets. And eventually, the courts found him innocent. It's when I went to meet Mr. Nambi Narayanan, that I realized that there was a story there. And but I looked at Mr. Nambi Narayanan and I saw with my with my glasses of seeing beyond the obvious. I felt there was a far bigger force behind him, and I was not able to put my finger on it. So I wrote the story about the case, about how he was arrested and how he was finally relieved and released, and how it was turning out to be a false case. But when I started the story, verdict had not yet come out of him getting the compensations or the Padma Bhushan. But when I went back to Mr. Nambi Narayan after having written the script for about 7 months to talk to him, he said, Madhavan, you've written it very well, very nice, but this part is wrong because, I actually learned the stability theorem under Professor Crocco in Princeton. And I said, 1 minute, when did you go to Princeton? And he said, yeah, I did my stability theorem in Princeton. Professor Crocco was my mentor. And I started getting goosebumps because Professor Crocco is the godfather of the moon mission. And he's a stalwart. And I said, are you talking about Luigi Crocco? And he said, yes. And then I said, why didn't you tell me about it? And then I realized he had not told me a lot of things, like his escapades in France, what he did in Scotland, what he did in Russia, and he was only worried about the fact that he was being arrested and that his name has been tarnished. He was not even talking about his achievements. He's the guy who's made the only liquid fuel engine that we have that has been working, which is called the Vikas engine, which he named after his mentor Vikram A. Sarabhai. And we didn't know about this man, and we didn't know. And I thought it's a complete nationalistic injustice, and it's a disservice not to know about Nambi Narayan. Forget about batting for him or appreciating him or admiring him. Not knowing about him was in my opinion, a disservice for our country and our nation. So I bit the bullet and I put my money where my mouth is, and I made Rocketry. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it simply because I'm highly embarrassed that I'm directing it and producing it and acting in it and writing in it. But I didn't find any other solution. And so if somebody tells me as an actor that somebody has made a film where he's produced, acted, directed, written, everything, I automatically have an aversion for it. And I'm like, let's see what they have done. And I'm sure people are talking about the same thing about me as well. But all I will tell you is it's complete out of devotion because I just couldn't find somebody else who understood Rocketry the way I did.